Hello everyone, I'm Coder Singh and today I'm going to talk about how to structure your Flask app if it's going too big. So what we're going to do, we're going to divide our routes into multiple files, and I will talk about what are Flask blueprints and how you can actually scale your app with meaningful routes. So before we get started, I want to let you know I make tutorials on React, Python, AWS, Node, a lot of other technologies. I also provide one-on-one sessions on career building, doubt clearance, or anything like that. So I have a free session of 15 minutes, so don't hesitate to book that. I also have paid sessions for much more hours or minutes. And now let's jump into the code. So I do have a directory over here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to do Python 3 minus m venv. I'm going to add dot over here. So it's going to quickly create a virtual environment for us. So let's activate the virtual environment. So we can activate our virtual environment with this command dot venv bin activate. So wherever it is, and it should be activated, as we can see over here. It's activated. I'm going to quickly install pip install flask into it. And since we have the flask ready now, we're going to create app.py. And from Flask, a basic Flask app, we're gonna set up import Flask. Def create app, and from here we will do app Flask name Flask app, and then we will return the app. And once the app is returned, let's try to run it. So we're going to export Flask app. So on your terminal, you need to export this line, which is export Flask app equals to app. You have to make sure that the name which you're specifying equals to app matches your main file name, which is the entry point for your Flask app. And export, we will export the Flask environment, which is development environment. So you can do export Flask equals to development. And now let's do Flask run. And yeah, so we do have a running server over here. So usually what you will do, you will just create a route over here like this, app.route, let's suppose API/user, and it's a method of get, and we will get def get users. So we will do return hello from the users. So now let's test this API. I am using Thunder Client, which helps me to make new which helps me to call the APIs which I'm working on in the VS Code itself. It's pretty good library. It's http :/localhost. It's localhost 5000, and it was API/user. Send. So hello from the user. So everything is working fine. Now, what if I want to add more APIs? It's gonna get, this file is gonna get plotted. So what we use in Flask is blueprints. So before I talk about blueprints, let me create a new folder called API, and then create a init file in it, dunder init, dunder.py. So like we import Flask from Flask, this time we will import blueprint from Flask. And blueprint takes 3 arguments which are important. So blueprint, it will first take an API, or like what is the name of the blueprint, and it will take the name under name dunder, and then it will take URL prefix. So for us it's API. And this we have made this file, but we need to connect it to the main application. So how do? We register blueprints. So what do I mean by registering is like app.register app.register blueprint. So from API import API. Let me quickly see why my Python interpreter is not working. Because it should import the Flask. But anyway, even if it's not working, I think so we are not getting any errors. So we have actually, we will take this code and we have actually registered the blueprints over here, but let's see it in action over here. So instead of API, we will be using, instead of app, we will be using API over here. And instead of /API, we will be using only user/user and hello from the user over here. So now let's test the same API with API/user and see what result we are getting. Register blueprint is not a function. App.register. Okay, so we need to just add blueprint over here. Now we will try. Amazing. Hello from users we are getting. So same thing. But now I want to take this user as well into a different file because there are multiple user related routes which I want to create. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come over here, create a new file called user.py. And I'm going to do same thing from Flask, import blueprint. And I'm going to create a user blue. You can call it blueprint, but I like to call it blue, and slash, you can say user, again, name, and URL prefix would be user. Now you can take the user blueprint and route, which is slash and method get and def. We will copy the same method so that there is no problem. Like we don't have to rewrite the entire code again. Hello from users in user file. Let's change it to this. And now what we do? Now what we will do is we will do from user import user blue. So API register blueprint, and we can do user underscore blue. Okay, so now we are registering user blueprint in the API, and from API we are registering it in the main app. So similarly, we can build this chain and we can divide our URLs into multiple files. So let's quickly test this thing. API user. Okay, again, no module named user. Okay, so we just might have to dot user because it's not a directory. It's a particular file. So that's why we need to use dot, and here we are, hello from the user in the user file. So this is how we can actually divide our Flask app and scale it very easily. And the best advantage which I feel is, like, if let's suppose a front-end developer comes to you and says that API/user/comment/ something is not working, then you know it's in the API folder, then it's in the user file, and then you need to search only the comments instead of just searching for the entire URL everywhere in your backend repository. So let me know, guys, if you really like the tutorial or not, and how I can make new content on the Flask, or maybe Node, or whatever suits you. And thank you so much for watching this tutorial. Really appreciate your time. Do not forget to like this video if you like it, and subscribe my channel. It really motivates me to make new content for you guys. Thank you.